We are off and running in the 2024 PLL Cash App Championship. You got a couple of beasts at the stripe with Nardella for the Whips and Sisselberger for the Archers, and it's Maryland who wins the initial possession. Joe Nardella, by the way, has now taken over sole possession of first place on the leaderboard, 154 playoff face-off wins. Here's Matt Rambo, MVP in 2019, and he's on the board early in 2024. Big-time players in big-time games, just 26 seconds in.
He's got ice in his veins. He could disappear in the regular season. When the lights are bright, 9 and White wants the rock, and I am shocked that Graham Hosick isn't on Matt Rambo off the jump, Ryan Boyle, because he can get physical, and I don't know if Jeffrey can defend him. A lefty on a lefty, he's got to use the body. I don't know if he can do that.
Well, they got Hosick right now on Zed Williams. What's interesting about that point is Chris Bates picked up Jeffrey and Hosick a few years ago to deal with the combo of Rambo and Williams. There's such a load, big bodies down there at attack.
As Rambo shoots wide, he has been aggressive early. He's got the lone goal.
Can't state enough what Jim Stagnita's done. First 6 games, 2-4. Last 6, 6-0.
Count it for Ryan Conrad, another big-time performer. He's playing in his 3rd consecutive championship, and he had a hat trick the last 2 years playing for Philly.
And it starts with the 2-man game between Conrad and Malone. They get the switch that they want, and then all the eyes are on Malone, and Conrad just wisely drifts upfield into open space. You can see Woodward, 77 in orange. He wants to support the on-ball matchup, and he kind of gets lost in the gray area there.
And that's when Conrad scrapes high, and I've been talking about Jim Stagnita and the job he's done. One of the pieces to that is acquiring Ryan Conrad and making him a threat behind the goal, inverting. And you didn't see him doing that a ton with the Water Dogs. He has lived behind the cage since he's become a Whip.
4th championship, and the year they didn't make it, they had a 9-1 regular season. They just got knocked out in the semifinals, so the Water Dogs went on to be the eventual champ.
And his roster was intact the first 4 years of the seasons, right? This year, the 6th year of the PLL, he had 5 rookies playing.
Patra, there's one of the rookies. Out of Loyola, makes it 3-zip Whips. What a turnaround, a 2-goal swing.
You know, in first Kark, you thought he might be in a little bit of trouble. The Archers try to jump him at the midfield line on this clear. But Patra could do a little bit of everything. Yeah, I love the Whipsnakes in the crowd, but right here you thought maybe he's in trouble, and then all of a sudden, just a ton of green emerges.
Yeah, that's a beautiful look with the spider cam substituting through the box, and the Archers are not accounting for Patra. I'm thinking he'll be a passer in that exchange in the substitution game. And he was one of those rookies. They've played 5 rookies this season. And it's not just a matter of the headline, Ajax Zapatello, who they got in the first round. It's their later picks who've been magnificent. Malone in the 3rd round. Patra in the 4th round, delivering on the biggest stage.
Nardella scoop. About 84 degrees here in Philadelphia. Beautiful championship
Feels
Sunday.
hotter in the sun, Drew. Feels hotter in the sun.
AQ, how is the sun affecting the game, if at all?
It's not. It's tough on the tablets, but everything else is fine.
Moore goes back to the crease, and he scores the first goal for Utah. So Matt Moore thought he had one about 30 seconds ago, and now he does.
Aggressive early in the shot clock, and I think it caught the Whipsnakes a little bit by surprise. They had a slide prepared, but it was just a hair late. You can see Matt Moore aggressively going at Zapatello. There's the slide by Dunn. Moore does a good job once he gets underneath, snaking back, getting that stick in his right hand, increases shooting angle.
I like it a lot, and I'll tell you why. They're struggling to generate offense in the settled 6-on-6 looks. When you dodge early,
you look back at the Whips, their 2020 championship team. They've got 8 guys from that roster playing today. Adam Patra's a new face, and he looks good in his first championship. The rookie's got 2 goals.
With the 32-second shot clock after a face-off win, you've got to have a sense of urgency. And what Patra affords you is the ability to go 2 ways. So when they win that face-off card, they don't have to slow it down. They don't have to sub. It's go time.
Yeah, and that's the second time quickly out of a substitution he's attacked this Utah defense. Both unassisted goals. He's a rookie from Loyola where he played attack and midfield throughout his career. He is so smooth with the left hand. And, you know, Zed Williams has been a little quiet. 1 for 10 shooting in the postseason. He's 0 for 4 today. I said earlier, they can win ugly with multiple guys. Patra's the guy so far.
And here comes transition with Mason Woodward. The rookie can stretch it from 2. Gives it up. O'Keefe takes the shot. Krebs saw it all the way. Now the Whips going the other direction. Conrad gets hammered from behind. It was Woodward on the trail check. He loads it up. He scores! Wow! End-to-end action. Mason Woodward with a 2-bomb.
Take a bow, rookie. He owned that play from the cause turnover to the rip.
What an energy play. What an individual effort here by Woodward. He's going to stay with this play all throughout it. He created the transition opportunity on the first run out. He got the feed from Dobson. He feeds Mac O'Keefe. Okay, all right, we're thinking we're going the other way. We might have certain transition. Woodward causes the turnover, pushes the second transition opportunity, and buries it from 2.
He was like the Tasmanian devil on that play. I'll tell you what, if he misses that and they go the other way, I don't know if he has the gas to get in the hole. Because
Sisselberger wins the face-off. The edge is now 5-3 in favor of Nardella. Those guys will be going toe-to-toe all afternoon. Here's Connor Fields. He has the short stick matchup after the pick against Wheaton Jacobois. 5 on 55. On the feed, there he is. It's Trey LeClaire. We've been begging for him to get involved. He cranks it up at 97 miles an hour to tie the game.
what a rip by the righty LeClaire. A hammer from deep.
It all starts with the switch they get on Connor Fields. So here's Trey LeClaire. He's off ball all the way over here. They've got the individual matchup. They've got the short stick.
He's the right guy to float. Let the Dodgers grab all the attention of the Whips defense and float LeClaire into a space where his hands are free and he can set his feet, because he is brilliant from that spot. Here's a look at his regular season shot clock. You could just tell from a chart perspective, he loves that exact area.
Only one touch in the first quarter. And this is a guy that led all midfielders in goal scoring. To only have one touch, we knew he needed to get more involved.
Yeah, he's the most underrated player at his position in the league, because in the past he's played defensive midfield, he's played on wings, he's had to play attack.
Here's Amen. Draws the slide. Zapatello picks him up, the rookie. Amen, the jump shot. Archers take the lead.
I'm going to point out a random weird thing here, Clark. This is actually set up by Ryan Ambler. Ryan Ambler comes sprinting out of the box, and he goes right to the crease. And so they had to put a long pole on him. And because of that, Amen gets the short stick.
Yeah, who needs a pick and a switch when you do that? That is a great find there, Boyle, because when Ambler goes down, it's almost like Amen knows that he's going to occupy that area with a long pole, and he can feast. Make no mistake about it. Grant Amen is one of the best players in the world, and he sacrificed his natural position. He was the 2021 Attackman of the Year in the PLL. In the last two seasons, because of the way that this offense kind of just fell into place, he's been playing midfield. All he's done now is become the leading scorer from the midfield in the PLL. And when you get him behind, he's got so many options. And there, you just felt like he owned goal line extended on Zapatello.
He has carried that efficiency to the PLL. He was a finalist for Goalie of the Year. He was unbelievable last week. Same thing today. That's his 12th save.
That's absurd.
12
is
saves.
Ridiculous. Field level, Quinn. Break down these saves. It's
this
a
is
joke.
a shooter's field, first of all. This is the fastest surface they've played on all summer long. And what Dobson's doing well right now is moving his feet, going pipe to pipe, getting his body involved.
This is a grass field, manicured beautifully. There's a bouncer. It's Conrad, his second goal of the first half.
Well, if the ball didn't bounce their way with Mazzone's stick flying off, it did on this play, because Conrad was not the intended target. You're going to see Malone. There's a couple teammates inside. You see Williams cutting. and Patra drifting from behind the cage. Meanwhile, Conrad is just behind that fray, and the ball just kind of luckily trickles out to him.
Yeah, that ball's intended for 36 in white. Zed Williams, Johnny on the spot, Ryan Conrad, national champ at the University of Virginia in 2019. He has a title with the PLL Water Dogs and was part of that huge mid-season trade that was so critical with all the injuries to Rookie of the Year last year, Tucker Dordovic and Brad Smith.
Clean win for Nardella. Whipsnakes defensively since the All-Star break have been the best team in the league. O'Keefe gets back to his left hand and bounces it home. 2 goals for Mac O'Keefe, and the Archers strike first in the second half.
It looks like O'Keefe potentially wants to go back to his right hand. He makes this move, and I think the Maryland Whips feel like he's going down the alley, but by keeping it in his left hand and the slick stick protection right here, when he switches it back to his left, he avoids the slide, but also puts it into his strength, his left hand.
Yeah, you could see that slide just a hair late by Squires. It's just a gassed Whipsnakes defense. Multiple shots, multiple opportunities, and shot clocks on the same possession. It's just too difficult to defend.
Here's Malone, sets it up. Conrad, that'll count. I think it does. Ryan Conrad's got a hat trick in the championship for the 3rd year in a row.
And all 3 of his goals have come off assists by Malone. So credit Malone with his 3rd apple of the day. And the Whipsnakes were actually substituting behind the play. And so Archers had an extra defender. Malone's going to get his defender hung up. He's just going to survey off ball. There's that little pick inside. You can see Heacock. He goes inside, sets a pick for Conrad, who comes off of it. Ultra quick release. He gets that in and out of his stick in the blink of an eye. And just too much for Dobson to have to navigate that, plus a defender. Marr was right there, so acted almost as a screen, Kark.
The problem for Utah is Malone has a short stick hung up. So all the eyes of the Utah defense are on Malone behind, 7 in white. Conrad, being the smart lacrosse player he is, knows that's his opportunity to cut. A little bit of...
Sisselberger won the faceoff cleanly. Archers operating in that 32-second shot clock. Moore gets back to his right hand. A step on Zapatello, and he beats Krebs.
When you go early in the shot clock, there's just a little bit more space to operate. And Moore has feasted on those opportunities today. Normally there's a rollback, you expect a slide, but when it's 5-on-5, Kark, there's just a little bit more space to operate.
It's 5-on-5, but it's also Ajax Zapatello who's holding his opponents in the second half of the season to under 20% shooting. So they are putting a lot of confidence in their rookie right there without sliding to him. And Moore knows if you get to the middle of the field and there's no slide help there, look at that angle he's shooting at.
Section 131 is all St. Bonaventure.
Yes, I was just going to say, those are his college boys, and when he picked up that grounder, they were standing.
Last-ditch effort, it'll count. Dyson Williams beats the horn on a great setup from Ryan Ambler.
I asked Kark if going a little early would come back to the Whips, come back and bite him, and it did. Late, 8/10 of a second left. Let's start on the backhand. Patra, Dobson stays big, just eats it.
Yeah, and he flushes out to get that grounder with his entire college teammates. The 3rd-year pro has them on their feet. And then Dyson Williams, you want automatic. This guy has scored over 200 goals in his career at Duke. A magician inside growing up in Canada. Son of Sean Williams, a box lacrosse legend. He's got the same hands as his old man, and he can sniff out the back of the net.
Moore feeds. LeClaire scores. Largest lead of the afternoon. Second goal for Trey LeClaire, and it's 9-6 Utah.
He found his spot again, RB. That's where he wants to live.
It's a two-man game. Beautiful action between Moore and LeClaire. You're going to see Grant Ament. He's just going to be the flyby guy and then freeze it right here. This is where you're going to get the two-man game between Moore and LeClaire. You're going to get this double team come over as Moore carries here, and there's going to be a huge area vacated behind the play. That's what LeClaire exploits. So there's the double team. Moore throws it back. Tons of space for LeClaire, who buries it.
There was a funny sound as he took this shot, kind of a ping. I think it may have hit, partially deflected off that approaching defender's stick, but a beautiful setup. And that's LeClaire's absolute wheelhouse. Feet set.
Some D-Mitty just to stick on this roster, and with Schreiber out for the year, LeClaire starting midfielder. O'Keefe.
That's
it's
filthy.
A hat trick.
That's filthy.
Oh, yeah.
Mac O'Keefe with the silky mitts. 10-6 Utah.
We've seen 2 goals now in the last 4 minutes by automatic finishers. Dyson Williams and Mac O'Keefe. Magical hands, soft palms, and they take that extra beat with a fake. When you watch this goal, you think that he's going to have to shoot the ball when he first catches right there, but he knows if he takes an extra beat, he can get it across his face with a fake into a twister.
I mean, you'd think he's going to shoot right away, and then maybe he'll throw one fake. His hands are so quick, he gets 2 fakes in there to get Krebs off his line.
And leaving his feet also allowed him to get it around Krebs' body. There is 4 years in a row. He leaves Penn State as the all-time leading goal scorer in college lacrosse history. That was broken by the Atlas rookie, Peyton Cormier. But 4 summers in a row, he finds himself back playing for it all.
Maryland in the regular season, 9 2-point goals, which was middle of the pack in the PLL. Williams, count it! They were calling for awards. Sometimes Zed is just too big.
He got one.
Don't count him out just yet.
Yeah, he finally got one. I said it at halftime.
Don't count him out just yet, Cark.
Yeah, 36 had to come to the party. Second in the league in goals. The wizard known as Zed Williams uses his body. The Whips are down 3, but they're knocking.
Zed Williams just got to the board. Malone was hit before the ball got there. It's a turnover. 15 of them against the Whips. Archer's in transition. Krebs is out of his net, makes a save. He made a save 8 yards away from the goal. Gave it right to Fields, and he makes him pay. Welcome to the party, Connor Fields.
What a crazy sequence. Insane action here. So again, Archers have got a player wide open from the sub box. Krebs decides to take matters in his own hands. Tries to get rid of it right there. Oh, Fields comes up with it. Looks like O'Keefe maybe disrupted that assist, or that outlet rather.
You see the 2-point shots for Jim Stagnita's team. They're 0 for 7 today. This is still technically a 2-possession game.
Utah will switch on all picks outside the arc. They're very, very conscious of the 2-point shot right now, according to Tony Retch, their DC.
See what the Whips drew up in the timeout. Here's Chanenchuk, makes the catch. He's on the crease, and he stuffs it past Dobson. Can the comeback kids do it again? Chanenchuk, the veteran, is on the board.
This is just a beautifully designed play. They're going to get a little inside-out action. So Rambo's going to carry upfield, freeze it right here. You're going to TJ Malone. He's going to flash here. Rambo's going to hit him inside. Off your screen is Chanenchuk. He's going to flash back door to all that open area. And then TJ Malone's going to hit him with that pass right there. So a little inside-out action. There's the back door by Chanenchuk. Beautifully designed play coming out of the timeout by Jim Stagnita and offensive coordinator Drew Snyder.
They stole that one from Notre Dame. That's a play we saw this spring.
Yeah, I love that, Quint, because you have 2 players in unison, right? Chanenchuk starts moving at the same exact time that Malone does when he gets the pass.
That play's been around for longer than this past spring, just for what it's worth.
Krebs playing defense. They will double team the ball. 1 minute left. Archers by 3. Ambler tries to swim out of trouble and draws the flag. It'll go on Puglisi. Ryan Ambler, the veteran, what a smart play. Alley-oop for O'Keefe. There's the hat trick for Mac O'Keefe. And it should be the dagger.
It will be. And now, if you start to zoom out.
Good goal on the play. They had a hold against the Whipsnakes. He gets wiped out. All even face-off.
And as you start to zoom out now, Kark, I think you've got to start talking about this Archer's defensive performance in the postseason in historical context.
Yes, and props to Tony Resch and Chris Bates, because at the end of last season, their starting defense looked drastically different than this lineup. Matt McMahon retires. You have injuries to starters. Graham Hossack, week one's not even there. He's not on the roster. So you think about the first weekend of the season up in Albany. This defense didn't look remotely close to it. Mason Woodward now has become a mainstay